Here we go. Hello, croeso, and welcome to Calon Yarns podcast. My name is Lynn, and I'm coming to you from Cardiff in Wales in the UK, and this is episode 1 of the Calon Yarns podcast. So I hope to be coming to you fortnightly. This is a knitting podcast around knitting, yarns, patterns, yarn events, that sort of thing. Letting you know what I've been up to, what's caught my eye this week. We'll be doing something called Covert Corner, which is where some patterns that have caught your eye on Ravelry or on Instagram or on Facebook, wherever, we'll have a little chat about those. So please feel free to comment on those, and we can kind of look at those patterns and think, if only I had the time, that's what I would be doing. But that's okay, because one day maybe we will get the time. Calon means heart in Welsh, and my heart is very much engaged with yarn and knitting things and crochet things and the general yarny vibes. You know what I mean? Like I said, I'm coming to you from Wales, and we have just had Wonderwool Wales, which is a fantastic yarn and fibre event held in the last weekend of April every year. It's held at the Royal Welsh Showground in Builth, in Powys. It's a fantastic event full of yarn and spinners and dyers and weavers and textiles, and there are animals there, obviously, because it's an agricultural site. It's nice to see the kind of the goats and the sheep and the rabbits where all our yarn comes from, so it's great to engage with that. Always fabulous food, always fabulous people to chat to. So I've just come back from that myself and a few of my yarn buddies. We get a cottage every year and we spend the weekend there indulging ourselves in patterns and yarn, and we don't have a great deal of wine, actually. You know what it's like. You cannot knit and have a few too many. It just becomes too complicated. So at the end of the podcast, there's a bit of a montage there, so you can see what goes on at Wonderwool Wales and what I've got up to. Forgive the photography. I am very much a beginner, so I will get better, I promise, if you stick with me. So yes, I guess we should dive in really and see what I've been up to. So the first finished object is the Soldotna crop from Caitlin Hunter, which has been a great pattern. I'm going to get up a little bit if I can. I'm on a swingy chair. I think it was a bad choice. We'll see. So this is the Soldotna crop. As you can see, it is quite cropped there. I don't really wear crop tops, but I thought, you know what, I'm just going to go for it. I've bought some high-waisted jeans under the advice of my daughter, and yeah, I really liked the pattern. And when I was in Wonderwool Wales, lots of people came and said that they really liked it, and that just made me think we should do that, you know, when we see somebody in a piece of knitwear that we really like, we should go and say, oh, I like that because I felt great. It was nice, and I would like to make other people feel great, so I think we should do that. Anyway, by the by. So, I knitted this from Stash, I know, rub the halo, and it is Debbie Bliss Mia, so it's a wool cotton mix, 50% wool, 50% cotton. I'm not sure whether it's discontinued, but this was out of Stash. And it's a double knit, so I went up a needle size. I think the pattern says that you should do 3.5, 3.75, but I went up a needle size because I generally do anyway. And because it's cotton, it's a little bit stiffer than a normal woolly fibre. So it held the stitches really well, the texture is really lovely, and these were just a combination of colours that I had in my stash. I wouldn't have chosen these colours ordinarily, but you know what? It's quite nice for the summer, and the fact that it's a short sleeve and it's got a cotton mix, I'm enjoying that very much. And the reason I chose this pattern is a bit of a weird story. We went to Edinburgh Yarn Festival, me and my yarn buddies, last month in March. I know I don't normally gad about like that, but we'd kind of wanted to go for years, and so we finally got there. And as we were going to the corn exchange, we got lost, and we met a couple of Swedish ladies who also got lost. So as we were trying to find the corn exchange all together, they were looking for some yarn to make the Soldotna crop, and we thought, well, hey, we'll just join in and have a little multicultural cowl. So I wouldn't have chosen the pattern. It's quite busy for me, but oh my goodness, I love it, and I will be doing more busy patterns, I think, for the future. So there we go. So yes, I think it took me about 8 balls all in all, but I will try and keep my notes on Ravelry updated, so have a little look there if you want to know more. The 2 other finished objects I have, one is the Ingalls sweater. I'll try and put a photo here. That's also by Caitlin Hunter. I also did that in the Debbie Bliss Mia. I have quite a bit in my stash. But my daughter has taken that back to uni. So that was a crop top. She liked that. She has that. So I'll see if I can put a picture up. So that's good. That's good that it was good enough for her. So hey, mum's winning. And then I also did the Ranunculus sweater, and that's by Knit Cafe Midori. I will put a picture here if I can manage. Yeah, that's a lace weight, and I did that. I have joined John Arbon Mill Textile Company. You get a membership and you get a fantastic membership card that is a metal needle gauge. Brilliant. I should have brought it. I didn't. Anyway, great. So you get mill membership and you get a free gift, and you get that as your membership card. So it means that you can get 10% off anything from John Arbon when you see them at a show, and I think it's 20% off online or at the mill shop. I can't remember, but it's brilliant. Anyway, so as part of my gift, I had, other side, a skein of their alpaca 2-3 ply, which is 90% alpaca, 10% nylon, as you can read. It is in the damson colour shade, and there's 600 metres in 100 grams. So this is the beautiful colour. Can you see that? Da, da, da. I did, like I say, I did the Ranunculus sweater in that, and it's on a 6mm needle, and it's really open texture, a little bit lacy across the yoke, and it took me 54 grams. It's short sleeved and it is a little bit cropped. But I mean, that's fantastic, a whole garment. But I don't have it because my daughter's taking it back to uni with her. So I think I'm going to knit myself another one in what's left. That will be slightly shorter because I haven't quite got enough. But I'm thinking if we swap the crop, she can cope with a shorter crop than I can. So maybe I'll sneak it around, do another one that way. But that pattern is beautiful. A lot of people do it a single strand of 4-ply or lace, and then the silk mohair on top to make it a little bit more chunky. And that's what I'm doing next. So finished objects are those 3. Hopefully I will have put the photos on there so you can kind of see that. But yes, so what am I knitting at the moment? Well, as I said, Ranunculus. It's a big thing. All my gang are doing ranunculuses, ranunculi, whatever. Anyway, so from Wonderwool Wales, so this is sort of yarn acquisitions as well, I had this in my stash. So it's a lace weight in this gorgeous, gorgeous blue colour. I have no idea where I got it from, who it belongs to. Obviously it belongs to me, but you know what I mean. I can't remember. I do apologise. But I did get from JillyBean Yarns at Wonderwool this amazing silk mohair mix, which is just beautiful. Obviously in the, I don't know what's best. Should I put it up like that? Can you see? Gorgeous, gorgeous blue colours. And of course, if we put that next there, can you see? It's a great match. There's some nice darker blues and there's some jazzier golds and creams and a few teals. That is lovely. Look at that. Beautiful. So that is what I bought from Wonderwool. That's what I had in stash. Polish the halo. So that was from JillyBean Yarns. Oh my goodness. What beautiful, beautiful things they have. I had a lovely chat to the lady at Wonderwool Wales. There's a little bit of it in my montage, a little bit of her stall. check it out. So this was called Halfpenny, and it's 72% silk mohair and 28% kid mohair. Is that right? I think so. I had to write it down. I lost the ball band. I do apologise. But this is how it's knitting up. And it is a little bit fiddly to begin with, and I have only just started. I've done the kind of the short row shaping. Oh my goodness. Can you see how that's knitting up? Such a lovely texture. And the blues and the greens just blend together really, really nicely. So I think this is going to be another short ranunculus, a cropped ranunculus. But it's on 6mm needles. So it does knit so quickly. So I think I'll probably start the yoke tonight and see if I can get beyond that bit, because then it's just stocking stitch all the way down until it's long enough for what you want, really. Especially if you're doing short sleeves, you just divide for the sleeves and away to go. So that is very delicious. So that's that one. The other thing I've got on the needles at the moment is the Embrands cardigan by, what's her name? Excuse me. Oh, let me get the pattern. So this is the Embrands cardigan. You can get that on Rav. And it is by Emily Louis. I think she's French, I believe. But it's all pretty much knitted in one piece. It's a top down, double knitting. And then you divide for the sleeves, carry on. The front is all done in one. The collar, the edging is all done in one go, and that is proving really lovely. So I am doing it in Sirdar, Simply Recycled. So this is what I'm doing it in. So it's a recycled cotton, DK weight. So 50-gram ball, and there is 130 meters, 50-gram ball. So it's a really lovely light cotton weight yarn in a very light, dusty almost khaki colour. From Stash. I know, get me, great, huh? So this is how it's working up, and I really, really like it. So it is, you've got the old raglan shoulders going on, and then it's coming down across the front like so, and you can see it's a bit hard. How can I show you a bit better? Like this-ish. Can you kind of get the gist? I can't see now. But yeah, so that is proving very nice. I'm looking forward to having a little try on of this. And I'm basically going to knit it as far as I can with what I've got. I haven't got a great deal, but we'll see how far I get. I have got a couple of other colours if I need to maybe blend in another colour. We shall see. But that lives in, oh my goodness, EYF. I've treated myself to a Fringe Supply Company bag. Oh my goodness. Stephen and Penelope knit gauge, needle gauge. These bags are great. They are really good, really sturdy, lots of pockets for your patterns. So excessive, but I am knitting from Stash, so you know, it's sort of allowed-ish. But yeah, it's really, really lovely. I'm really enjoying this bag. Isn't that ridiculous? I'm enjoying a bag, whatever. So that's that cardigan. So hopefully that'll be finished in the next couple of weeks or so. What else am I knitting? Oh, my socks. So this is some of my hand-dyed, some 80/20 merino nylon twist. So this is stuff that I have dyed myself. So this tealy one, and then this more solid black blue kind of base. And I am doing the broken seed stitch socks. Can you see that? Oops. It's a free pattern on Ravelry. Oh my goodness, I can't remember the lady's name. I'll put it on the screen. But it's really lovely. And what you do is you do the knit round in the solid colour, and then the knit one, purl one, or purl one, knit one in the speckled colour. So you get this really lovely texture. It's very similar to the Hermione everyday sock, I think. But it's really nice. So it's not thick because obviously it's only one yarn per round, but I really like the effect. It's sort of got a nice little depth to it. And also, I didn't have a great deal of these colours, so I'm hoping that with contrast heel and toes, I'll be able to get a couple of pairs of socks out of these two balls. So that is ticking along nicely. Oops, that's gone away, never mind. So that's pretty much all I have on the needles. No, I don't. I lie. I am doing, excuse me, the Kate Davis. Have you seen this book? It's a beautiful book of hats. So I am doing from this book, yeah, pronunciation, I don't know. This one, oh, it goes the other way. So Tetagouche, I've no idea. But look at that, isn't it pretty? Very pretty. So that's what I'm having a go at. Bit of colour work there, very lovely. And this is in her own yarn. Her new yarn range, it's probably not that new now, but it's taken a while for it to get to me. So Milwaukee Tweed, is that how you say it? So as you can see, 25 grams, 100 metres, and of course because it's colour work you don't need very much. And I'm not great with rustic yarns, itchy yarns. I'm getting better, but this is lovely and soft. You can feel its tweediness, but it's absolutely gorgeous. So I'm doing it in the colours as the pattern states, but that is ticking along nicely. I started it up in EYF actually, but I was so busy talking that I didn't really get a great deal done. You have to concentrate, do you know what I mean? So that's how it's working out so far. So I'm enjoying that. These are kind of the portable ones, you know, the socks and the hats, nice to kind of carry around. But as the weather's getting a little bit better now, it feels a bit weird carrying something heavy texture around, but it's not that warm yet. I'm sure I will cope. So yeah, that's sort of all I've got on the needles at the moment. What did I buy from Wonderwool Wales? I was really good. I was a really good girl because I had been to EYF and I had splurged on some lovely things at EYF, so I was very restrained. So I got that Giddy Aunt Yarns ball, and I also got this. I had in stash some lovely drops lace. That's a 50-gram skein. How many meters is in there? Sorry, twisting it around. 400 meters. 400 meters, 50 gram skein of lace weight. 70% alpaca, 30% silk. It's really lovely and soft. Beautiful green colour. And it's also got some kind of yellows in there as well. Very minimal yellows. So, from the lovely JillyBean Yarn Company. Oops, not that one. There we go. JillyBean. I have, this is called Glass Button, and it's 50 grams, 420 meters, 72% mohair, 28% silk. And as you can see, it's got some lovely greeny light textures in there. So I'm thinking these together will make a very nice ranunculus. Yeah, I know, obsessed with ranunculus. But they're really quick, 6mm needles. Oh my goodness, it goes so quickly. So, and I'm not a green kind of person ordinarily, but I thought, do you know what? They go together really quite nicely. So if I've got this from Stash, and this was 19, I think, that's a top, a handmade top in beautiful, beautiful yarn for £19. So that's okay, I can do that. What else did I buy? And then I just bought some undyed yarn, really. I bought some New Zealand merino. New Zealand? No, Falklands merino. Just an undyed bundle. Merino nylon mix. So I'm going to have a little go at dyeing that up. I do a bit of dyeing here and there, so I'm going to have a little go at dyeing that up. So I've got about 6 skeins of that. And then I also got, where did I put it? Here. oops. So I bought some of the Drops Puna, which is an alpaca mix, and that's really reasonable. That's a double knitting weight. So I'm going to do the Carbuth cardigan, the Kate Davis Carbuth cardigan. And you hold 2 strands together. It's a really lovely fitted, not fitted, it's an oversized cardigan, but it's got a really nice raglan shaping on the sleeves. So I'll put a picture up if I can do it. But it holds 2 strands together, so it can be quite expensive. But because this is really reasonable and it is natural, 100% alpaca, 50 grams, 110 meters, I'm going to dye this up, I think. I'm going to make it into skeins and dye it up into a semi-solid. Just have a go, isn't it? I think that's the thing when you're experimenting with dyes and yarns, combining the two, I mean, you just want to have a little go, see what happens. So that's what I'm going to do with that. And that's sort of the end of my yarn acquisitions. I haven't got any plans to go to any other yarn festivals as yet. I think that's it. I'm sort of spent up for now. But looking forward to working through my stash. When we were away, we discussed the option of maybe only knitting from stash for a year. Because what's happening now is that I look at my stash and I think, what can I make from that? Rather than, I like that, I need to get the yarn to make it. So it's a slightly different way of thinking. I'm trying my best to work through my stash. Not that I've got reams and reams and reams. It all fits under my bed. I've got quite a big bed, but it does all fit under my bed. But yes, to have a year from stash, it didn't really go down very well, if I'm honest. Some members of the group were quite aggressively against that concept, but there we are. We'll see. I'll try and knit as much from stash as I can over the next year, see how that goes. And now maybe Covert Corner. So, Covert Corner, what do I wish I had the time to knit? My first pattern I came across that I really, really like, and I don't know, I might be able to sneak some time to make this one, and I might be able to knit it from stash, but it is the Kemper top from Born and Raised Knits. I'll put a little picture, and it is in a DK weight. And there's a really lovely combination of almost of a halter neck. It's like a vest, like a summer vest, but it's a little bit more structured. So I quite like the look of that. I quite like the pattern around the neck, the way the lines kind of come away from the neckline, and the combination of sprinkle, I was going to say, the sprinkled yarn, the variegated yarn, and the solid yarn. So that looks quite interesting. I might see if I can get to grips with that. Maybe take that on holiday because it'll be quite a light knit. So yeah, I really like that. The other pattern that I have been coveting, I keep going back and having a look at it. I think it's so fun. It's called For Fox's Sake, the animal fox. For Fox's Sake. It's a male jumper. Well, it doesn't have to be a male jumper, but in the pattern, a man is wearing it. I'm trying to convince my husband that it would be a great sweater for me to knit for him. As you can see by the picture, there's a great fun fox motif around the yoke, and that's by Maxim Kerr. I don't know how you say that, I'm afraid, but it's on Ravelry, and that also is a DK weight, so quite a nice quick knit, but that looks really lovely. I love the combination of colours. I've tried to sell it to my husband, I've tried to sell it to my daughter. I suppose I should just make it for myself and wear it myself. I really, really like it, so maybe as we get to the autumn, if there's some time, I can kind of have a look at that one. So what else is there to say? Nothing really. I hope you've enjoyed what you've heard so far. Lots of projects planned, lots of dyeing yarn planned, so we'll see how that all goes. As I said, there's a little montage of Wonderwool shenanigans in mid-Wales, so have a little look at that, and I hope you will like and subscribe and maybe join me in a couple of weeks. We'll see how far I've got with my ranunculi. Maybe you could tell me what that is. what it should be. But my kind of yarn gang all seem to be obsessed with making those at the moment. Yes, thank you so much for stopping by. I really appreciate you giving me some time. I hope you've got some wonderful things on your knitting needles or crochet hooks, and I will see you again soon. Okay, take care now. Hwyl fawr. Bye.